What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is TishaTheBrave. Thank you guys for being here, and if this is your first time here, don't forget to check out my Patreon account where I do weekly numerology forecasts as well as weekly moon cycle forecasts. Okay, so let's get straight into the video. Today we're here to talk about the life path 9. I've done all the life path numbers so far up until 9. The next numbers I'm going to do are the master numbers, so it's really exciting. I'm kind of getting down to the end of this series, but please make sure you stay subscribed for more numerology videos as well, and astrology videos. You know, I do spiritual content just generally. The life path 9 is what people nickname the humanitarian. Your main purpose in life is to use your actions guided by your morals and to gain a bigger insight by the actions that you are taking, because that actually helps you become a better humanitarian. In numerology, number 9 is actually the number of completion. So if you're life path 9, you actually have qualities of every other single life path. So number 1 is the leader, so you have those qualities. Number 2 is a person of balance and mediation. And number 3 is about the communicator. Number 4 is about organization. Number 5 is about being freed, having freedom. Number 6 is about being the visionary nurturer. Number 7 is about the truth seeker. Number 8 is about money management and stuff like that. You have all of these qualities in you, and the reason you have those qualities is because you are supposed to help people on a bigger basis than all the other life paths have. You're one of those people that will probably go abroad and help feed a nation, or even within your own community, you may be doing work to give out to the poor, or to you know, help your locals thrive in some sort of way. That's the kind of person you are, okay? And that is why you need all the qualities of all the other life paths, because your work essentially is on a communal level, on a global level, okay? All the other life paths do that in their own way, but yours is that just that little bit more special. It's just that little bit more intimate. That's what I'm trying to say here. In a sense, because you give so much, there's a part of you that actually feels blessed enough to do it. So you could literally watch something like the news or something, and you can look at situations, like horrible situations, and be grateful for where you are, have that empathy for the other person, and be like, what can I do to help? You're one of those types of people. So you always feel like you're blessed in some sort of way, because you feel like you have to give. You feel like you have to give. So you're probably a person that has donated to charity many times, or in your own way, because not everybody kind of like believes in charity in the bigger sense, but like maybe you're that kind of person that goes past a homeless person and gives them food or gives them money because you feel like, you know what, this is something that they need and I can see that they're in need or something. On the flip side of being blessed, you guys can also feel a bit stressed, because you kind of feel burdened almost, in a sense, to help everyone around you. It's really weird, because you're not the kind of person that kind of asks for responsibility, but for some reason, like, people kind of turn to you for that responsibility. Remember, you have all the qualities of all the other life paths. Like, you're looked at as a reliable person. You're looked at as someone as they can do everything, and so for you that could be a little bit of a burden sometimes, because you're just like, why can't you just ask so and so to do it? Or why? But like, there's a part of you also that likes it too, because you know you're being helpful, you know you're being useful, but there's a part of you that's like, oh my gosh, like, it's tiring. It's kind of, it can be a bit upsetting sometimes, but that's just what people perceive you as. Your empathy literally has no bounds, and you probably have made friends with people who have been bullied in the past, or people who have people who are like misfits or rejects, quote unquote, or maybe even you have been bullied in the past, so you have the empathy to extend to other people to become friends like that. My mother is a life path 9, and she always talks about this person that she was friends with that nobody else was friends with, and didn't like them because of the way they looked and stuff, and she was the only person that kind of took them in. And so she, till this day, she talks about like how grateful that she was that she did that, she had to have that experience, because she realized that on the grander scheme of things, she was actually helping somebody who needed that. Growing up as well, in my particular childhood, we've had people come off the streets and stay in our houses. Like, it's no joke. My mom is a true life path 9, okay? You could be a person that could potentially like foster animals or foster children, or like, you know, can't leave somebody alone by themselves, because you feel like you feel the need to kind of like help them in any way that you can. Everything and anything that you do normally is about helping people in some sort of way. The best part about doing this video is that I've had experience with a life path 9 mother growing up. She was a carer at a nursing home for a very long time. Then she actually moved on to caring for a middle-aged man who had severe disability. And she's always had jobs where she's had to care and cater to other people. And it just makes a lot of sense as a life path 9, because that is where your heart is going to be. And a lot of life path 9s tend to be in hospitals, tend to be in healthcare, tend to be in like rehabilitation, those kinds of jobs, because it's literally about having that one-to-one human interaction where you can actually see the fruits of your labor. That is what a life path 9 wants. They want to see the fruits of their labor, and they want to see their care and their empathy extend, you know. So a lot of life path 9s, of course, are Cancers. My mum is one. Aquarius is, because they tend to see the bigger picture of humanity. A lot of air signs tend to be life path 9s. A lot of water signs tend to be life path 9s. That's what I've noticed as well. Not to say that you can't be any other zodiac sign and not be a life path 9. That's not how it goes. But like, just generally, I've seen the pattern, and it makes a lot of sense when you look at the traits of those signs and also the traits of the life path number we're talking about. So it's very interesting. You're super creative, and you have to be super creative, because this is also a way where you help people. So there will be moments in time where people are going to be stuck, or a group of people are going to be stuck, or a person's going to be stuck with what's happening, and then you'll come up with this most creative way to kind of solve their issue. So that's not limited to just problem solving. You guys can be great musicians, you could be great artists, you could be great poets, you could be whatever it is that is super creative. This is also something that you need to express, because again, what you do also helps everybody else in some form or fashion. And because of your deep love for humanity, you are sometimes a hopeless romantic. You want to see the world as like glass half full sometimes, and even when you know that bad stuff is happening around you, or maybe this person is not necessarily good for you, there could be moments where you're just like, oh, but this person does this for me, and you like are bypassing all the red flags because you're seeing all the little green flags, all the things that you appreciate and love about this person, and you just end up hopelessly being in love with this person. So you're pretty much like a life path 2 in that sense, where you could be very clingy lovers, very clingy romantic partners. Nothing wrong with being a bit clingy, but what I'm saying is you have to be mindful about the person that you're with, because you are a person that kind of likes to put your rose-colored glasses on. Now, I say all of that to say as well that you guys sometimes can give people endless amounts of chances. Now we're going to move endless amounts of chances. So having said that, let's move on to struggles and solutions to those struggles, okay? So like I said, you can give people way too many chances, because for you, your empathy knows no bounds. And I've seen this a lot again with my mother growing up, where she would have a spat with somebody, or somebody has done something, betrayed her, or talked behind her back, or this or that, and it comes to the point where it's like, a few months down the road, even a few weeks down the road, all is forgiven, and this person is doing the same things over and over. And me being the child and being very logical with my Taurus moon, I'm like, Mom, you need to learn to let go of this person, because this person clearly, you know, doesn't like you, whatever. But my mom would always be like, no, but you know, that's not the right thing to do. You know, they said they were sorry, or they did this and they did that, and that's the problem. So how can you combat this? Learning that forgiveness doesn't mean, and maybe this is something you have to write down, but learning that forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to then hang out with this person again. Forgiveness can literally just mean that you forgive what they do, and then you choose not to be around that person, because you're realizing that they are toxic and they're not actually for you, and they're not people that actually have your best interest at heart. You can create physical boundaries, even if that means a restraining order, and I'm dead serious when I'm talking to you guys, because like I said, you guys are life path 9s. You may be in like dodgy or abusive relationships that you kept giving chances for. That's not something that's cool. Maybe you need a physical boundary. Maybe the next thing you need to do is block their number, or maybe you need to just do the whole out of sight, out of mind thing, where you just take them off social media, because it makes a lot of sense. You know, if you don't see them, they won't be in your mindset, they won't be in your mind frame, you know what I'm saying? Eventually you'll just learn to live without those people, and they won't cross your mind. work on your solar plexus chakra. You do have a lack of confidence. You may have a lot of anxiety as a life path 9. Work on that solar plexus chakra. Your work is greater than the person that is trying to get back into your life, okay? Your work is greater. Your purpose is greater. Focus on your purpose and not the person. Focus on the purpose and not the person. You're here to help the collective, not the person, the collective, okay? You have many other life paths that are here to collect that. You have many other life paths that will probably help nurture the other person, like the 6. But you're here to help the community, you know? You may have been born into a family that was disrespectful or didn't listen to you, or maybe you were born with a lot of siblings around you, okay? Now, this is interesting again. If I'm talking in my mother into account, she is a person, ironically, who has 9 brothers and sisters. So I just want to say this as well. Not exclusive to Cancers, but I want you guys to pay attention if you are Cancer, because you guys literally govern motherhood. But just generally speaking, especially Cancers who are life path 9s, you guys may have children who you're constantly arguing with as well. One thing you have to embrace here are all the challenges of the people that you are constantly around. You are supposed to help a larger group of people, so you're going to face people that you don't always get along with for a special reason. You're supposed to argue the case of everybody else. You're supposed to help people on a bigger level, so therefore your biggest issue, your biggest challenge is people. So learning to stand up for yourself also helps you to learn to stand up for other people who need your help. Do you understand? You get why this is all set up? Because if you don't know how to stand up for yourself, how are you going to stand up for other people? Don't make no sense, right? So just understand, if you have a difficult family life, there is a specific reason why you have a difficult family life. It's a moment where you're supposed to stand your ground, but also understand that these people are here to literally help you become a better life path 9. So I'm not saying stay by their side. If they're toxic, move on from them. But if they are people that you feel are having bad moments, then just understand that you were born into this position to help yourself stand up for yourself. So there's ways to do this. You don't have to argue, you don't have to shout. You can still make your point without having exhaustion of energy. So work on your throat chakra, because I feel like that's probably one that you really need to work on as a life path 9. And a solar plexus, the solar plexus. Okay, you may have also been expected to take on a role that you don't necessarily want due to maybe like family inheritance. So this is a very specific example, but this is also a life path 9 attribute, okay? Where you could be born into a family that has, like, let's say for example, they've all been doctors down the line. Now it's time for you to kind of take over and be the doctor, or maybe it's like take over the family business, or whatever it is, whatever have you. Maybe you have been, at some point you may have been like dulled down to not be you, right? You've even been in like a super religious household and they expect you to be that religion your whole life. It could be something along them lines. It doesn't matter what it is, but you have kind of like been in a position where you have to be this person and nobody else. The whole point of you learning through this is that you become the person that you're supposed to be, right? So everything that has been against you and stuff like that, you may not even have a clue how to live life outside of this. I find that a lot of 9s are the ones that escape like extreme cults or extreme religions, as well as the life path 5s, because they are the ones that are the freedom seekers. But those people tend to be the life path 9s, the people that have escaped like religious sects and stuff like that. Like, that's something that you may be struggling with. But you are supposed to go with whatever you're being led to go, even if it's scary, because the mission is bigger than you. The mission is bigger than you, period. Like I said, you're here to help the collective. Maybe you escaping from that particular cult or that particular religious sector or whatever it is that you're doing, when you give that message that you can give, like the life path 3, because you have all of that in you, when you give the message, that will help somebody else do that, and that will in turn become a chain reaction. So here's what you really need to learn, okay? You really need to engrave into your mind that your difficult circumstances involving people are there to help you learn, grow, and evolve. Your primary lesson is to let go. You need to let go of the status quo, what other people expect of you, what other people yeah, what other people expect of you, and you need to understand that the reason you're in these hard spaces and these hard positions with other people is because you are there to help other people that need you. You're the person that will be out there on the front lines really helping people that actually need it. So all this stuff that you're facing with all people that don't matter, you need to let go of that. You tend to be clingy, so you need to let go of that and think about the bigger message here, the bigger picture here. What is the bigger picture? And the best way that I can illustrate that is by using a famous Life Path 9 example. Bob Marley. Who was Bob Marley? To most of us, he was just a famous singer who made these great songs with these great messages about love, unity, and peace. But like, do you actually realize the bigger scheme of all of this and why he was talking about such a message? Well, I'm gonna let you in. So I'm reading notes because I don't want to get this wrong. From 1974 to 1980, Jamaica was going through a lot of political violence, and there were gangs linked to two parties, the PNP, or the People's National Party, and the Conservative Jamaica Labour Party, which is the JLP. Thousands of people were killed and injured during this time. And Bob Marley and many people in Jamaica witnessed this violence on a regular daily basis. It was a very scary time. In 1978, influenced by the Rastafarian movement, gang leaders agreed to talk about peace. And out of the process came the One Love Peace concert in Kingston, Jamaica, which brought together both gang members and politicians alike. Bob Marley summoned both political party opponents and clasped their hands together in signs of unity. He knew by making music with a message that he could inspire peace to his own people, his own country, his own community. And this is exactly what you need to be doing. You are creative for a reason. See, Bob Marley uses creativity to help his community. This is exactly what you need to be doing. So all of this shit with all these other people that is really bugging you and annoying you and stuff like that, ask the divine, what is happening? Why are these people doing these things to me? Yeah? And ask what lessons and messages you're getting from all of this interaction. And ask that you can let go of the things that no longer serve you and walk forward in confidence and let that shit go. Because you are much bigger than you, and the world doesn't revolve around you. It revolves around your purpose, to be honest. So you need to stop worrying about the small things, about the other things that the other people are putting into your ear and telling you who you are and and making you bitter and resentful. You need to start putting passion into your purpose. And when you do, you'll become the humanitarian. My name is TishaTheBrave. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, share, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. And if you're interested in a numerology reading or a natal chart reading, you can check me out and email me at TishaTheBrave@gmail.com. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Thank you.